Welcome, everybody, to another night of ESL Pro League. We continue tonight with a couple big matches as the season reaches about its halfway point. I am joined by two of my closest and most loyal friends, Sponge and Henry.
Most loyal is accurate.
Let's get this out of the way. There's a bit of tension on the desk this evening. We had a very intense battle on Worms earlier.
Yep.
Henry and I are going to apologize right now for ganging up against you, Jason. We're very sorry.
It's all right. Just don't let it happen again, I guess is where we could leave that one.
So we're all fine.
Henry, are you sorry as well?
For the sake of this desk, I'm going to say I'm sorry. Yeah, it's fine. There you go. I'm sorry, Jason.
Well, before we get into the matches, we'll see what everyone's playing for. Bring up the standings in both of the divisions. This is going to be the North American standings, and still everything is pretty clear cut.
The top four looks as it should.
And the bottom four.
Renegades are not in the bottom four anymore, so that's all good. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So that's
flying high. They're riding a wave.
The Brits coming in last.
God, the bottom half of that division is just ugly, isn't it? All right, now we have the EU standings looking a little bit better, but still, I mean, some crazy stuff. NIP, G2 Esports down at the bottom. I don't think anyone expected that heading into the season.
Yeah, this is certainly a little bit strange. Like you said, we're at the halfway point now as well, so things should be starting to stabilize at this kind of era of the league, I guess. But NIP, they managed to pick up a win yesterday, so that's okay. But G2, this is going from bad to worse for them, isn't it? This is like the chance to get practice in and start playing against the top teams, and they haven't really turned up to this league whatsoever. They're now sat at the bottom.
Yeah, those two perhaps fighting to avoid relegation while there's going to be a lot of ties. I mean, a lot of teams at 4 and 5 wins, so plenty of time still for some shuffling of these kind of standings. And this is what we're going to have for you tonight. On the main stream, we're going to have NaVi versus Fnatic to start us off. Second match of the evening is going to be Envy versus North. Over on the second stream, it's going to be Astralis versus Heroic, and then LDLC versus Mouse Sports. A Mouse Sports team that's in first place. That's crazy.
Yeah, no one really saw that coming, albeit they had Nico to begin the season with, but they're still doing very good, even though he's left now. They beat North 2-0 last week as well, so that's actually quite impressive. Yeah,
it's crazy stuff, so we'll keep our eye on those matches, and we'll check in with that later, and we're also going to check in real quick with Mitch.
Yes, thank you very much, Moses, and welcome back to my little corner here, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to once again remind you guys to keep an eye on what's going on our social media portals. It's facebook.com/ESLCS and at Twitter at ESLCS. Now, yesterday we saw the announcement of the next major hosted by PGL in Krakow, Poland from the 16th to the 23rd of July. A big congrats, of course, to PGL, and we look forward to seeing what comes of the event. Now, let's dive into something a little bit different. Starix, the longtime coach of NaVi, has stepped down from the team. A player with a long history, playing back in 1.6 with the now legendary NaVi, their team with names such as Markelov, Senya, Zeus, Edward, dominant in the early 2010s. Starix has mentioned that he's thinking of picking up the AK himself again, and we wish him all the best of luck in the future. We've had tons of submissions, of course, for our community plays so far, but please continue sending them in. We're enjoying going through them and enjoying some of your big moments. The details for submission are on the Pro League website. But let's have a look at what you sent us this week.
A lot of talent in those community plays. Some future pros perhaps coming up. Yeah, we saw that pistol run on Cash was pretty nice.
Yeah, you need some more NA players.
So. Yeah, no NA players. Oh, well. Canals, boys, there was an update last night. New map, Henry, I know you were tuned into streams
I was
very late
watching
last
some
night.
very
Watching
professional
Canal.
streams, actually, yeah. Some interesting plays are going down there. I even got to see Joe Miller play the map. So
Really?
Yeah. So
How
that
was he
impressive.
doing?
He was actually really good. Like,
Now, Lauren, I believe, was broadcasting that, or was she playing as well?
she was playing as well, but I was more interested in Joe Miller at the time.
All right,
Like,
let's be serious. Before we start joking around too much, this map is not going to be competitive. It's trash.
Okay, that's not being constructive,
Well,
Chad. Let's talk. Why do you think it's
moving along?
trash?
Okay, so if this goes into the competitive map pool, it's absolutely ridiculous. It promotes 1v1s. There's too many close corridors. There's too many corridors. It doesn't make any sense.
So not a fan.
Not a fan at all.
I would agree. From what I saw, it looks like it's the kind of mess when they first recreated Cobble to CSGO. They made it way too complicated and all the halls and stuff like that need a lot of adjustment.
Turn down like drop zone.
Look at this
right.
overview right now.
It's not a CS map. That layout does not suggest to me that's a Counter-Strike map.
You can make
at
it
all.
from T-spawn to the A bomb site in I think less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I haven't played it myself, but from what I saw yesterday, it looked like a complete mess.
It looks pretty.
I haven't
nice.
played it yet, but it seems like there's a lot of different avenues that you would have to cover as CT.
We've got Rushley here. Check this A bomb site out, right? See all those walls, and there's glass windows on either side. They're all spammable, right?
Yeah.
And the bomb site is so tiny. No matter wherever you plant the bomb, you can be found out, you can be spammed out. It's pretty ridiculous. If you fly over to the B bomb site, this gets even stupider.
Okay.
Take us there, Rush, baby. That's what I
Okay,
like to see.
so see these windows at the B bomb site, you can break them out, and if you're a CT and you hear the bomb getting planted by the Ts, you just throw a Molotov in and it will get the whole bomb site.
That's unreal.
Gabe, please.
I don't think Gabe made this map specifically.
Doesn't matter, it's his company.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Let's move along to happier things.
Go on.
NaVi.
Is that a question?
Yeah, we just saw Starix now has stepped down as coach.
I'm not sure that is a happy thing. That's kind of a bad thing for them overall. I got to interview him recently with Drop the Bomb stuff, right? And it was just about the time the Valve changed. Sorry?
Shameless.
I'm just giving you context.
All right.
Where can you find information about
Shut
Drop the Bomb?
So we were doing this around. We interviewed him about the time. We interviewed all the coaches about the time when it was actually the Valve rules came in, and we interviewed him about it. And obviously, his frustrations with that. He wanted to have a very hands-on approach and kind of be the in-game leader for the team. And just as Valve made that call, that's when Zeus was removed as well. I feel like he just felt like he has nothing left to offer this team. Like he's tried everything he can. They've had one big success for New York, obviously, but I feel like he's so stifled right now when he can't really call for them at all. Just that 4 times a game, it's not really enough for him.
This is probably the biggest casualty we have of that coaching role. Even the manager said, a couple months into this project, after they brought in Starix and after they started tooling this team for him to be the in-game leader, Zeus was removed to bring in more talent, and then that comes down. That was just kind of like, well, everything we have geared up for over the past 3, 4, 5 months is now gone to waste. Chad, what's left for these guys? I mean, we know they have some serious issues with in-game leadership. We know there's some serious issues in terms of organization and team structure. Now, all of a sudden, losing Starix. Is there any hope still?
I think so. They're still in a teething period. They're still finding themselves. The Starix thing, as we just touched on, being taken away from them is a big blow. Caesar's had to adjust to that in-game leader role. It's slow and steady. It's not an overnight process. The thing which I think is interesting is they have their analyst, Andy, who is now the coach as well. So I would say he was doing the bulk of the work, actually doing the counter-strats and stuff, and Starix was basically just using his knowledge of the game over the years to be the in-game leader. It might be a good thing to have a new take, because I'm sure that Andy would have been coming up with different ideas, but not actually the one setting the plays. Now with him as the coach, they'll have a new take on it, and he might have a different view, which could be positive. So this is that teething period.
One last thing before we get away from the theoretical stuff is one thing I've noticed with NaVi and C's perhaps is trying to be an in-game leader is T-sides have shown some improvement. I feel like it's the CT side where they most lack some leadership. They do seem a little bit confused on rotations at times. And is that a situation where in-game leaders, it's just commonly associated with strat calling, so obviously the T-side is obviously a big focus of that.
Yeah.
But are they getting lost in the fact that you also have to kind of lead the team and call tactics on the CT side as well?
It's a difficult question to answer in that respect. In-game leaders obviously do have influence on the CT rounds, and obviously calling for rotations what they see. But the difference is, when you're on the T side, right, you've got an objective that you're working towards. There's normally a default going in. You have an idea of what you're doing. You have different setups on the CT side you can bring to each round. But in terms of mid-round calls and situations like that, it's a lot down to the team itself and knowing how to adjust when something goes wrong. Like when a certain situation dies, if a teammate goes down the other side of the map, what your role is and what you should be doing. It shouldn't down to the in-game leader to say, okay, you need to do this right now. You can't delegate every single single second of the round, right? It's very difficult to do. So I don't think that's a massive deal, really. It should be just down to the team kind of synergizing properly and actually working out how
this
they're
comes
going to work.
down to the theoretical Counter-Strike, the prepping for situations. If this happens, this is your natural response. Then you have like options 1, 2, 3, you know, depending on what's available. Right. So that's where they need to address that outside of the server. Sit down, get some nice chairs, have a talk, and work those decisions out before actually getting in-game.
Gotcha. All right, well, their opponents as well that they're facing up with on Train, we just saw them yesterday having a very good job on this map specifically, is Fnatic. They took down Virtus.pro, what was it, 16-2 yesterday on Train?
It's such an up-and-down team, though, isn't it? Like, that's, like, you go to the next map as well, they got absolutely thumped, like 16-5 for the same team. But they did look very good on Train, to be fair, especially JW. Like, we saw him returning to form. We've been saying that a lot recently. In Vegas, he was looking very good. Katowice as well, he seems to be finding his form once again with the AWP, and Train is one of his stellar maps with that weapon. He's very good at opening those situations up towards the outside bomb site, rotating on the CT side all over the place, and he was really scary to watch yesterday.
I think both of these teams that we have tonight are very similar in their approach. They're both still on having teething issues on their T sides, right? And you've seen that for Fnatic throughout, that loss, that crumble against Immortals in Poland, where they had a massive CT side and then couldn't close out on the T side. We saw their T side was pretty bad last night against Virtus.pro in the second map. So that's what they need to work on, and I think for them to do that, another teething issue, you know, it's going to take time because they're slowly changing the way that they play. I think they should start their style out very loose and then go into the structured play because it's going to catch teams off guard. The loose style, I think, is what, you know, if they get the ball rolling, it's the kind of thing where you go, well, just keep doing what you're doing. If they don't, then you can go back to the set executes. Or if you want to start with the set executes and then go into the freedom, then that's cool. But you need to make sure your players are confident in mixing it up.
I know you mentioned yesterday you've never gotten off that Fnatic hype train. Henry, are you still on the hype train?
I'm not convinced as of yet. I still know there's a lot of potential going forward, and I do believe they will be a top team once again. I just don't think it'll be for the next like 5 months or so like that. Like it's going to take a lot of time right now.
That's a hot minute.
I feel like we're in a period of time right now, you know, there's like maybe 8 to 10 teams who are all super competitive at the top. We obviously have the clear-cut top 3, SK, Virtus.pro and Astralis at the moment, but there's like other teams who have uncapped potential who haven't reached that yet. And that'll make this the next major very exciting.
Yeah, that is going to be exciting stuff. As Mitch mentioned earlier, it's going to be in Krakow. That's going to be awesome to those Polish fans. Train, though, we saw Fnatic on this map yesterday. We saw them switch in. I mean, we only really saw one half out of them.
Yeah, that was the problem, though, wasn't it? Because they start on the CT side, right, and they get like 13 rounds. It's very good. In terms of the CT side and the way you should be playing it, that was a perfect game for them. Like they had a nice mixture of controlled aggression towards like the IV pushing inside and stuff like that, changing the opening position. That was great. But like you said, we didn't see the T side, which is where they've had problems before, and that's why I think they're going to start crumbling. If they start on the T side here against a team like NaVi, who are very good on Train as well, I'm not so sure we'll see the same sort of game out of them. But that looked great yesterday. To be fair, CT side was perfect.
Yeah, I guess to build on what Henry's saying, I think both these teams play a very similar CT side defense. They normally have a player around connector, one bomb train, one around the green train, and one Ivy. And it's almost like they're in a line a lot of the time. Both teams do that, and then they do have the controlled aggression, what Henry's talking about. The key difference for me is the way that these teams play inside. They mix it up. NaVi mix it up between Flamey and Seized. I think it's spawn-based or utility-based. And Flush is normally the inside player for Fnatic, and he likes to play more of the retake style, which we did see last night. So I think the inside battle will be interesting. And then flipping over to the T side, if you're Fnatic right now and you do your homework, if you have some Ivy aggression with a few players and you find no one there or Seized holding passively, you know that the rest of them are all above Pop Dog. That's basically the go with NaVi.
I think one of the interesting aspects we might see in this map is going to be the ops. Obviously, there's Simple and Guardian. There's JW, and we saw Olaf picking it up yesterday. Fnatic wanted that double off setup. Yep. Is this like a situation, because JW is not like your typical opper. He's not like that classic style opping like Guardian is perhaps. So how is this op battle going to progress?
It's certainly going to be an aggressive one. I think Guardian's going to be aware that JW, what he's up to, they've played against each other for years now. JW, the whole kind of headline of his playstyle is that he throws the rulebook of Counter-Strike away, right? He does the things that are unexpected almost every single round. You don't know really what he's going to present to you, and he's willing to like push through smokes and flashbangs and be in situations that should be unfavorable, but he's so good that he can pull them off. That's what's explosive about his style. Guardian, on the other hand, like you said, more traditional style AWPer, can do the flashy stuff and very good at the flick shots and the close range AWP work as well. But a map like Train, he's got to like set roles he actually uses. Like he'd be towards Ivy on top of green, or towards connector or inside, and he's normally just quite good at hitting the shots that really count.
Do either of you feel like, I kind of feel like Simple is like faded a little bit in this team. This is not the same Simple that we thought we were going to see when he joined this lineup. Is that shared by either of you guys?
He's been tamed a little bit, right? He
Yeah.
has to actually play a role now. Before he was the superstar, he could do whatever he wanted. He's like, no, drop me a deagle. No, I'm going here, I'm doing this. And he could find the frags, right? Now he has to play a role, and it's a bit harder to be a star when you have to play a role, right? Because you have responsibilities every round. You can't just do whatever you want.
But at the same time, though, that's the way it has to be. You can't rely on
Right.
someone being a loose cannon and just saying, I'm just going to do this every round. There's no consistency there. You go into every single game with him having his own ideas and playing everything on spawn. Like, yeah, sure, it might work like 60% of the time, but then you get to like a semi-final or quarter-final, it's not working out, a team shut it down. I just don't see what's the game plan going forward from that one. He's having an off game. You can't just rely a whole team on him playing that kind of...
Can we draw any parallels to Nico's situations when he was in Mouse Sports and not able to kind of be that best player in the world that we saw for a certain part of last year, and then now that he's in phase, it's like, oh my God, this is the Nico we've been missing for like 4 months. Is there anything there where like FaZe seems to have that system, but he has a lot of freedom, Nico has a lot of freedom within that system. Is there something there that NaVi can do to kind of emulate that kind of, like, yeah, have a system, he needs to play a role, but it's simple, you know, let him make the plays when he's feeling it.
Personally, I thought that Nico was playing a role very well when we saw FaZe play, right? He was doing jobs that he was meant to do. He's not just, you know, doing whatever he wanted. I get what you're saying with the freedom and stuff. I think that they should be in a similar situation. We just haven't seen. I think Simple is just better when he's free. I'm not saying that he should be free.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's when you get the
No,
best.
I agree.
That's when you get the best
Yeah, yeah.
Simple, right? When he can do those crazy plays. And I guess when he's been in lesser teams in the past, he's thought, hey, I actually have to do it all myself. So when you have that mentality, you're a little bit more selfish in the way you address the game, and you can find more frags.
Let's remember as well, just to go back to that Nico point, is from Katowice, he'd only been in that team for 3 days before that event. So there's difficult to kind of draw lines in the sand and say, okay, this is what they're going to do from now on. They're going to actually, they might get worse, believe it or not. They actually might try and lock him down and try and regulate him too much, right? And have the same problem with Simple.
Yeah.
Right, it looked amazing in Katowice because, okay, what positions you play, go and do what you want. And like they've relied very much on raw individual skill. In that event, Rain was amazing, and Nico was playing some of the best CS of his career as well. So you can do very well at events when that's happening.
How Chad, if you're an in-game leader, I know you've talked both days about Fnatic's inner defense and how, I mean, usually as we had the conversation in the match of how gutsy it is to be playing retake on that inner bomb site. If you're an in-game leader, how, if you see this looking ahead at a match, how are you countering it? How are you exploiting the fact that they want to play that retake, that Flush is going to be on that train? He's not necessarily going to always be holding aggressively in the site.
You can use less utility to take the site, and then more utility to hold off the rotations, right? So you know there's going to be so many players coming from CT and connector. Once you have that bomb site with maybe one smoke and a few simple flashes, you use your Molotovs and your other smokes to delay for as long as possible and make that retake super difficult. If you're doing a inside attack that requires, you know, like 4 Molotovs, 3 smokes, 6 flashes, you've used all your utility. Flush is like, well, thanks for that. I'm sitting back here in the yard and I'll just pick you off, you know, when everything dissipates, and we'll retake as a team. So you have to make sure that you can hold on to that utility and use it later.
But what I think makes a really good inside solo player, though, is being able to mix it up. I think Taz is one of the greatest examples of how to play that position by yourself. Sure, like if you think, oh, we know Taz plays inside by himself almost every single round, right? But he changes it up so many times. He'll be dropping smokes at the top of the lower ramp, going for the first pick and scaring you to think he's going to be doing that continuously, throwing the same smoke over and over again, which costs you utility at the start of the round regardless. Very difficult to make a decision against a player like him to say, let's not use any nades, let's not do anything, let's walk in and try and kill him, because as soon as you do that, he might be doing something completely different. So you have to be very wary. It's difficult to come into a game plan and say, oh, this is exactly what he does. The best players will be changing things up every single time.
Well, I mean, this is now... How does Fnatic get away with this though? Like on the inner bomb site, like is this what drives them to just say, well, we'll play this kind of same style at that inner site? Because that is very intriguing to me. Because when you have to retake, we've all been there, having to retake the inner bomb site when you're, especially if you're giving it up frequently in a 5-on-5 and a 4-on-4. How do they have so much success doing it?
So when you're the solo inside player and you're doing what Flush is doing, when you tell your players where you are, when they rotate in, they know what you're not covering, right? So let's say you're on the oil train and you're covering the oil lane and high ramp. Your teammates know when they swing in that they could have pushed up close pop, they could have pushed up the middle train or whatever. They know what to look for.
Right.
And then you can systematically push back. If you just run in and they've basically killed Flusher, they've swarmed everywhere, you have no information, you don't know where to look, right? So you're running in, having to check every single angle, and that's why it's usually a nightmare when you retake that inner bomb site. If you have a little bit of information and you have a, I guess, predetermined position, say you're the first respondent, you're there first, you should try and get as close as you can to Flusher and cover maybe the middle lane of trains, right, on the left-hand side of the bomb train, so that you can trade Flusher, and then the next person can come in, slot in, and then you can all just push up in a wave like that.
Do we feel this match is going to be a defensive battle between these two teams?
I think so. I think this is exactly what
it's
it's going to be.
Heavy CT sides?
Yeah, I think so. I think Fnatic are going to need that from what we've seen on their T side so far.
Fnatic definitely need that. You know, it doesn't look like they have a lot of innovation on their T sides. We didn't get to see it, but T sides across the board in general of what we've seen from their play recently.
Well, can you extrapolate what we saw in Mirage, perhaps how that didn't work out very well in their favor because they got stomped on Mirage?
Yeah, the only thing that worked for them was those double orbs, right? And
yeah, they had double orb on the T side.
Yeah.
We kind of built that up in the pregame. We're saying as soon as things started going wrong, they'll go to the contact plays towards A, and they'll just try and walk into the bomb site. And to be fair, they've got an amazing amount of talent within that team, right? That's going to work for them every now and then, but you could see how they were struggling. The set pieces, the defaults, nothing really going in their favor. As soon as they try to slow things down and go for a set execution, that's when Virtus Pro is pushing down to a lower ramp and stuff like that. They were just having a really rough ride there. Nothing was really working for them, and you could see their T side is lacking depth. I would say they didn't really bring any fakes to the table. I can't remember one single fake they tried to do at all. It was default, try and get pincer towards A or B, and then set piece. It didn't really have much to going for them, in my opinion.
Let's shift gears quite a bit here because we do have some time. There is a player not connected yet, but let's talk about the other matchup we have going on. That's going to be on the secondary stream, the one we're not going to be covering. That's going to be Astralis versus Heroic. So another Danish matchup that we have going on. So we saw them yesterday against North go 1-1.
Yeah.
So now this is kind of like the battle of setting that tier in the Danish region of the teams. This is going to be Nuke again.
Yeah, and as I said yesterday, Jason.
Yes, let's.
He's got something.
Here we. Did you not hear this yesterday?
No.
It's a stunner.
Okay.
Well, if Astralis beat Heroic on Nuke, they're the best Danish team on Nuke.
Astralis beat
Heroic.
That's not how you phrased it yesterday.
Okay.
Look, Jason, yesterday was a long time ago.
It's a new day.
But in terms of the hierarchy of the Danish teams, we know Astralis is #1, North is clearly #2, and then Heroic is #3. That's how it is. So these online matchups are not the same as when we're seeing them at the events in the high-pressure situations on LAN, playing for lots of money right now. You know, they're still in that qualification process. You're doing best of twos. You can put in so much prep work if you want for your opponent's map. You know, like, I guess, a couple of days in advance at least. And it's easier to kind of exploit in that scenario, right? The veto's not done. Like right now, it's done, you know, a little bit early, so they have that extra time.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is now Heroic showed a good Nuke against Virtus Pro. It kind of beats
They really did.
Yeah, so is that going to continue?
That was an amazing tournament overall for them. I don't think anyone expected them to actually make it to the semi-finals and win their group. That was nuts. Still a very good team. They're looking great. The addition of another Nico was looking great, and they actually can give North a run for their money, though.
Could always use more Nikos in the scene.
I agree.
Either way, we're going to be sending it over to Uber and Pansy to take us through NaVi versus Fnatic.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. NaVi, Fnatic. Lauren, you've been a busy bee, obviously, last night. Did a bit of casting, did a bit of map analysis as well. But we're going to come back to maybe a bit more of a commonly played map here on Train.
Thank you.
All right. Sleep okay?
Yeah, great night. Canals just really
didn't wake up under like nuggets all over you.
No, not this time. But no, I get to see Train, get to see the NaVi without StarX. He just said he wishes them luck on Twitter. So maybe no hard feelings there. Just moving on with it. But it's weird, isn't it? There's been those rumblings in that CIS region. You kind of look at it like, what's going on with Gambit? Where's all this happening? Okay, StarX is now moving across things. There are certain whispers.
And it's been said as well, StarX could really go wherever he wants. In fact, his English has improved drastically as well over the last year, so you can really have a conversation with the guy now. So that's by the by here. Of course, this is an interesting map, and I like that we sort of talked a little bit about the difference between these two teams' CT sides and how Fnatic sort of just use Flasher and A and play very much a retake, and 4 players, on B, but 4 players on A for Fnatic in a lot of their standard rounds. So an interesting clash of 2 styles on this map.
It is. I don't know. I want to see if Fnatic can become consistent like this, because yesterday I was like, well, kind of a bit of a dumpstering on this map. We didn't get to see much of it. VP never got off the starting blocks, but this should be different. NaVi should be better, but then NaVi have had their issues. They are a team waiting for glory, but at the moment having a little bit of a back and forth down by Ivy. You've got Dennis and JW there, so 2 heavy hitters. Especially if it's Dennis with a pistol, so they're going to back off from this. But NaVi don't give up much for free. They show presence throughout this map, and they make it hard for Fnatic to just retain this 4-1 and feel comfortable with it, I can imagine. Flusher somehow always manages to pull it off, but Olaf this time might not be able to completely dedicate all his time towards A, unlike last game where he was able to sit in that 4-1 perfectly every single time.
Do you think NaVi bring the pace to exploit that one player on the B side for Fnatic in a lot of these rounds?
I think NaVi's pace, especially on T sides when it's slow and cautious, makes it harder for Fnatic to play their style that's quite pick-based. It's just tough to handle. Now, JW's found Guardian, but that's not the big problem here. It's that already NaVi are out, and that's a shot. Flamey finds Flusher, and now that one-man Guardian is down, and Flamey's kicking off here. Edward's going to find one as well, and it's Edward to pick up the slack where their teammates left off, but JW now has to play back into this in a 1v2. He does have a kit, and he does have armor.
He doesn't quite know where Flamey is, though. Flamey was just in between those two bomb through the carriages right now. I'll be able to meet him in a moment. But JW needs to consider how he's going to navigate the situation. Seized is backed away. He's in the periphery right now, just waiting to interrupt any defuse. So JW has to go now. A couple more shots finally do connect here. There's a kit on the man, but he needs to go immediately. And he'll need to deal with Seized.
But I don't know if Seized is going to predict he has a kit. I wonder, he's going to have to check it anyway. JW had the shot. He had the angle, but Seized was just that little bit better. So NaVi picking up the first. Good stuff. It was pretty close, but they get the bomb down. Everything's sorted. Isn't this just a beautiful replay? Technical pause already. Delightful. Yeah,
seems like a brief pause at least as well. And we'll get a chance here as well. We don't have much to say about this game, but Lauren, I mean, would you echo the sentiments of the boys on the desk about the new map? I know we're sort of going off track a bit here. We've only seen
it's
the
trashed here. So. Yeah, it's absolutely...
You're actually sounding nicer about it than you were last night. That's quite something.
I'm more sober now. No, it is absolutely tragic. I think there's no place for it in the competitive pool. So I don't think there should be a problem. I don't think Valve are that naive. There's way better options out there. It should be fine. I think Chad gets a little worried. You know, he's lost his faith. He doesn't believe that maybe Valve always have those smart ideas in the right place. But all is good, all is well for now. If they try and force that in, then tears will be shed. But at the moment, we do see JW going aggressive down by Ivy. Nothing new, but NaVi seem aware of this being a possibility now. 3 players to face it as well, and you're not going to get away with that for free. Last time we saw the information play out from JW quite consistently, he'd be pushing up down Ivy. Flusher generally doesn't push on those brown holes or the B holes. He's fine where he is, but...
Unless there's a player on upper and he can sort of play up close with the UMP.
Yeah, so it's more of a rarity, but JW's been shut down now, so gonna have to keep himself kind of humble. This default that NaVi put down, there's still presence over by B, there's players over by Ivy, there's one by kind of main. You can't play it like you did the last game. They've got to switch up that mentality a little bit, pull them back in line.
And what Fnatic want to do early round as a CT side is unseat you, is to pick you apart, is to actually invest a little bit and take some risks in positioning to put the numbers advantage in their favour. So I like that sort of positioning way down Ivy that NaVi had. It was a pretty big investment of players, and it still is over towards that part of the map. But Olofmeister's been tagged heavily, and NaVi probably should know this. So definitely the weaker link at the moment on the side of Fnatic in terms of HP. Dennis with the deagle needs to make some magic happen. No, Flame's going to shut him down very quickly, and now it's going to be a push. This is where the pace comes into play for NaVi. They're going to spring 4 straight on towards that A side, and Crims doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, this is the different styles clashing, right? This works very well for NaVi so far. Very clean round 2, absolutely perfect for them. Flush is going to get none of it. Now, Fnatic, we're going toe-to-toe in these rounds, even when Feathers Pro were looking close at any point. This time, way cleaner for NaVi. If they can get this one cleanly, even better. And Fnatic's money, they can't really go for anything at all, really. Maybe Olaf can get a flash, but probably not even going to go for that. They've had very few kills outside that first round where I think it was JW getting a couple and going for himself.
Yeah,
but
3 in that one round,
yeah,
I think.
But beyond that, they've not had much going, so it's time to kind of just sit back and kind of take this round, I guess. Just stack out somewhere. You've gone for 5 players over by 8. No, Flush is back over to B. He's going to hold it down with the USPS all by himself.
It's interesting how NaVi just really want to contain Fnatic in the early part of the round. They set up, they hold angles, they wait for Fnatic to come to them, and it's almost as if they know that that's something that Fnatic's going to do. It's what they always do. They can't sit still. It's one of their biggest strengths, and in this case, it may be a weakness. Nice from JW, though, picks up Guardian. The USP does find its mark, and that will slow NaVi down a little bit more. One of the teams who definitely culprits in some of those rounds that go far too long, and they run out of time. They're going to need to make a move fairly soon. Flusher wants a challenge. Simple, hardly scathed as he does drop down from up, but those peaks are brilliant.
Flusher!
Nicely done. Unfortunately, JW already falling elsewhere. It's a 3v3, now 3v2. Dennis needs to make things happen with the Galil.
How has it gone this close? How is this around there doing this much damage? And Olofmeister now knows where one player is. Edward's the other issue,
Stone
but
cold.
Olaf has nothing to play with here. He's got himself a UMP, no kit, no armor, no utility. So it's time to try and hunt someone down. Cease will not expect this at all. He turns around now. Olaf's going to find him, and he might have spotted Edward then. But it's a slim chance. Should try and hear it out. Baits out the bomb. Edward's having to take the fight. He hears it! And Edward will finally cull the threat. But this is a Fnatic you worry about. This is the team you have nightmares about. They only have USPSs, and they get you down to 1 player and a bomb plant. So it gets a little worrying. And let's have a little peek at the spawns here, because Olaf's got the AWP for now rather than JW, so that's interesting. So I know they're double AWP, there's nothing wrong with that, but JW has been pretty darn good on it as well. Like, especially on this map, he had a great game.
And Fnatic are a team who actually buy into double AWPs as quickly as humanly possible. Normally in round 4 on the T side, you'll probably see it normally happen.
And especially sort of a tendency for them, if they're having a close game or if they feel uncomfortable, you'll see them go to it instantly. That's their instant go-to. They don't switch anything else up yet.
Spent a lot of money on it against VP, actually. Didn't really pay off on Mirage.
No, Mirage Snacks was having none of it.
So sick. So JW has Ivy duty yet again. Again, it's 3 players. NaVi characterizing their rounds with a large concentration of players put towards Ivy to test Fnatic.
Now, JW really would have loved an AWP here, but Guardian got his own, peeking up and over. He's now got some control here. That's a little bit unfortunate. Something you don't often see. Guardian missing a bit of a sitter. Not sure if that went through the legs or whatever happened. It did look like it was on. Maybe I'm just blind as well. We never know. But it has forced Olafmeister over here. This is interesting. This is the way NaVi are playing are making Fnatic respond very differently. Presence of IO, you've got now Olafmeister playing over towards B. Simple is keeping him very, very present on this. Normally we saw there's 4 players on A, and that might be just a response to how they like to play VP, but right now, Guardian, we need him to wake up. Let's see if he can fire up in this, because that AWP needs to start coming through. Flash comes in, Dennis doesn't play off the back of it, but these steps are going to be heard, and Dennis is very close by.
And this is where NaVi shift gears. Now, they need to go looking for these fights because Fnatic haven't given any of them early on. JW just waited the whole round, bided his time and waited for the player to push out of Ivy. Flash, not really affecting Flamey at this stage, but he's the last man on his team. Fnatic have wiped the floor in this one. But NaVi with 3 gets sprayed down for Flamey. 2 headshots amongst that one, can't get any more. An opportunity did present itself, but Fnatic able to deal with it. That was quite shocking. They really walked right into him. Fantasy team, Flamey, let's go. Make me the point, son.
Is he in your fantasy team?
Yeah. Right, like who puts a IGL for NaVi in their team? I do, because I don't have any money.
Good
paying
shout,
off now.
Good shout. No, Flamey did pretty well there. I'm not gonna lie. Don't know how.
I thought that was going somewhere. You could tell. Like I'm starting to pop off. I'm thinking, okay. Standard Mitch.
Faith. But I've got to say, what was going on with Guardian that round? He had a bit of a mare down by Ivy. Don't know what happened there, but beyond that, but look at this read. Olafmeister's put himself over towards B. We didn't really see this before either, playing very, very close contact on this. NaVi don't jump off on the first piece there. They kind of waited out. And we saw before NaVi like that deep flash to come out. I think is it Guardian who puts it? I think, I think they've used it before a couple of times. I'm wondering if they do it again, and it would work. Look how far back Fnatic are playing. You've got Olafmeister by connector. I think it's Guardian who normally puts the flash down. It's just for the connector player to allow them to play out of it. Flush is still very much deadly if they actually go for it. But NaVi aren't committed anywhere just yet, but they have no control over by Ivy. And we know that JW likes to push it, but he might have learned his lesson, right? He might have thought, yeah, they keep playing this while they've got someone passive here. Maybe I don't want to do it. But this time taken is now allowing Olafmeister to come back around. NaVi seem indecisive.
And it's about this time in the round, in fact, the next 10 seconds, where we see a big shift in NaVi's approach, right? You see him set up early, hold angles and hope the Fnatic push in. Now they need to go looking in. And sometimes this is actually where things break down a little bit for NaVi, because Fnatic are ready and willing to wait it out, especially after the first few rounds. If you're playing an anti-eco as NaVi, sure, you can be, you know they're going to push you, but now they've got to go. Flusher backs away, a little bit of damage over towards C's, nothing to write home about now, but that flash may just waylay Fnatic a little bit more. Molly dropped, but Olaf doesn't really want to cross it. He's happy with where he stood right now, and NaVi need to smoke to get across.
This is a really clinical play from NaVi. They seem very composed in this. But Flusher and Olafmeister are right at the door. They've got 4 players left. Guardian's still standing, and he's going to start actually kicking into this round. C's with a nice, slightly further forward position with Simple not too far away. Means that Dennis and JW have so much ground to cover. There's so many threats involved in every single angle they're checked. So JW knows this. It's time to back off. He has no shot here. And NaVi with a very great, very well-constructed hit towards B. And JW's going to at least try and stay alive here, get away as well as he can. But he is being hunted down. You can see Simple on the hunt by the old bomb train, and JW, you've got to be worried. You've got about 3 angles to worry about here. Pre-fires, but gets nothing. Guardian going to find the closer on that. NaVi showing that you don't have to rush those B hits. You can be quite methodical, be quite slow-paced. They didn't just jump the cross, for example. They waited out the mollies, they waited out everything. That's Flamey doing ridiculous things.
How many teams do you know that just get to that point on the B site and just keep playing contact?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we see it all the time. It's almost like daylight robbery for NaVi. And what we didn't really what maybe wasn't shown to as great a degree as it could have been is that Molotov thrown down. Yeah, Olaf didn't care about it, but it did prevent the rotation in from Connector. Let him put that smoke down, and then NaVi had like a 4v1 situation with the close player. I think it was Flusher. Really nice.
This is really interesting though, because Flusher's now going to have to bring a bit more of an A game. I felt like he had a bit of an easy game before against First Pro, which is weird to say, but a little bit easy for him. He didn't feel too pressured, especially in this map, should I say. This gets a little bit fiery though. NaVi bringing a nice round so far. Dennis, the Pistolero, still standing though. Always a danger on the board, and Guardian goes down. What is this? Dennis now in a 1v2, can't recover a gun too comfortably though. And there's still 2 players, but he's got the bomb, and he's got an angle. And oh my god, if it was any other player, I wouldn't be that excited about this, but there's always a chance when it's Dennis.
He's done a lot of damage in the last few moments. Edward at 8, sees at 49. He's low himself. 10 bullets in the chamber and sees to be able to catch him off there. NaVi was scrabbling to try and set up a crossfire, or at least a trade situation against Dennis there, and he was adamant that he was going to try and get 2 1v1s.
Problem is though, Fnatic's money is pretty much trash. They were suffering through the last round, double eco territory, of course, going into this one. Navi's is decent though. They've got Seized opting to go on the UMP, even though he's still got 4.7 left over, so could have gone for more, maybe fancying a bit of that, maybe feels like he can just kind of plow in, down on Ivy, get a couple of trades going, maybe expect JW's aggression, we'll see. Maybe he just wants to go farming, and he can do. Let's see if he gets it and go for himself. No! Gets absolutely dumpstered. So that's how it goes. Fnatic, deadly as ever, but so far you're at 1-5, and this starts to become the point where it's like, wow, we need rounds on the board here.
I'm genuinely surprised that JW is able to get a kill in that situation anyway. He's facing down so many players from NaVi, but now they can set up, they're just going to take a little bit of real estate, but Crims puts a quick end to Flame. He snuffs him out. And now Guardian up on top of the trains. It'll be Crims again, who's managed to get himself an AK here. The balance is shifting. It's a 2v2 now. Olaf doesn't have a weapon yet. Neither of the Fnatic players have armor. They want to play close. This USP needs to work, but Guardian quicker on the trigger finger.
Crims in a 1v2. Is anyone thinking about this position yet? Simple's got the cross. Guardian's vulnerable, but Simple should have his back here. Crims does have a molly, and he could put it possibly towards top, but now that plays it Simple. He's given away the position, and Simple holds it well. Smartly done by him. And so far, NaVi looking good on their T side. I genuinely thought Fnatic would come into this.
Oh, you thought that
a little more.
NaVi wouldn't get dumpstered, didn't you, on this map?
That's unofficially.
I'm not trying to throw you down I'm throwing you under the bus, but
yeah, a little bit. That's fine. You know, as the tires break over my spine.
No, I'm generally interested in the thinking behind it. You know, like after what we saw yesterday, perhaps against VP.
No, just other reasons. But no, you're playing well. I've got to say, Fnatic haven't had the chance really to get the double AWP yet. We haven't seen JW on it particularly too much. I don't think we've actually seen him at all yet. Olaf was the only player who picked it up, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, this is interesting. But NaVi's approached this really, really nicely. Maybe it's kind of woken them up as well. You know, you look at the, I guess, leaving of Starix is a negative, of course, but it has encouraged other teams here then to pick up, you know, actually start putting in more and more work, really refine it, become more self-aware. So maybe that's kind of spurred them on. And we know that NaVi, if they get fired up, they can do great things. We've all been waiting for great things from this roster. So far into this round, however, already a little bit of precedent shown down by Ivy, so C is just watching, making sure that JW stays humble, can't go walkabouts, can't cheat over any information and try and get an early rotate. And Guardian smoked out by Pop, and it looks like a slow play towards B.
Huge amounts of utility remain for NaVi. Probably one of the most important things here. We saw what they did earlier on after they sort of hit that B site, stopped a little bit, broke the tempo up and actually used that utility to gain more ground. And obviously, the closer you get to the CT setup, the more expensive it is to actually claim territory or space for yourself. And that's why it's good that they've got so much resources and utility to use. Now, Simple, okay, it's just a smoke towards up here. Make sure there's only one real angle that he has to worry about when he does peek, if that happens. And Crim's going to be waiting bottom on Pop Dog. No, loses out. Edward finds him first. Dennis needs to hope to deal with Seized here. He's running straight into a weapon. Wasn't even ready, and he still wins it out. Not a situation you want to be in for Dennis. He had that one dead to rights, and every single fight has been taken by Fnatic. They should win these. They're not.
Yeah, they're losing out on some ridiculous fights. And look at the HP left on a couple of these players as well. Guardian, 9 HP, Edward, 20, Seized. So they thought, I don't know, was it Seized who was in main then? I'm trying to think if it was. It was Dennis obviously pushed up, but when do Fnatic miss these? When do Fnatic
He had a
miss
Molotov
these
in
shots?
his hand.
It's ridiculous. This is not the Fnatic I expected yesterday. Banging out shots left, right, and center. You know, everything you'd expect from them. Now, no. No, not to be. All right, NaVi've turned up to play, and it seems that Fnatic have not done their DM yet, if anything's to go by that round.
I mean, like, you don't
That was
wanna...
very rusty.
You don't want to, I guess, try and boil a situation down to like mechanics too much or to, you know, how sharp someone is. But those are situations where Fnatic players are holding lines, NaVi players are pushing into them, and the NaVi players are able to react quick enough to get the kill. If you headshot them, they should be dead straight up.
But that's a lot of the Fnatic style as well, is that individual prowess. They always believe that they can come back from any scoreline. Oh! There it is. There it is.
Okay. Guardian, Slovakian superstar, tunneling through the walls with that shot. That's absolutely filthy. I mean, any other round that would have been just godlike, and this round maybe doesn't mean so much in the grand scheme of things, but...
Still pretty good.
I'm equally parts nauseous and aroused, Lauren. I don't know what to do with this.
Just don't bring it towards me and we're fine. 3v4 though, and there's 3 players Fnatic left standing. And yeah, this is what I was going to say, is that Fnatic normally are that firepower team, right? You know them as individuals. You know they can come alive and do these crazy things. Very clutch-based as well. Incredibly individualistic in any aspect you look at their game style, and that's what I mean. It's like, where was that Crims? Where's this guy been? He's having a bit of a slow start here. Left in a 1v3. He's got 21 HP, and now he's got Edward in his sights. All right, a 1v1. He spotted, if I'm not mistaken, another player over by A. He could have gone for the quick fight towards B, but maybe not fancying it. Maybe he just wants to try and see what he can get done.
At this stage, no chance for Crims to really do anything about the bomb, as you said, so we'll sit back here and look for some sort of exits. There won't be too much forthcoming. NaVi, one of the least likely teams to step up and challenge this kind of situation. Still, maybe a little bit shell-shocked about that earlier shot in the round, so NaVi, they got the tech. They've got the tech, no doubt about it. Flamey, 14 and 6, by the way, and very strong performance from him, especially when you expect to see someone maybe Simple or even Guardian with the AWP sort of up there. Lofty heights for Flamey.
Terrorists win.
I'm just enjoying watching the chat go off about that shot through the wall. It's still going.
I've never seen so many messages per minute. It's pretty nutty.
It's YouTube gaming, it's pretty rare. It's probably the maximum so far. But we finally see the double AWP. This is something we've been waiting on. It's taken 10 rounds, but they've got there. JW and Olaf both on it. Now, this was a huge piece for Fnatic not too long ago. JW was integral to their victory on this map against VP. Now, looks like NaVi are pretty robust, so I wouldn't put all of my faith in it, but JW's going to be tested pretty soon. You've got the 2 players down by Ivy. We'll see if they play into it. They could just still show a little bit of presence, show a little leg, and then back away. It's up to them. Flusher still starting out on B, just having a little bit of a ongoing duel with Guardian, showing each other what they've got over there, but oh my god, not again, Guardian, don't you dare! What's he been up to in these last couple of days?
Striding wallbang spots, apparently.
Apparently so. There's a difference maker. JW finds the first pick, C's goes down. Now, NaVi is still in somewhat of their kind of like, all right, we're just going to split and pick, but look at this. The aggression's being read well by NaVi, but they just can't turn the flash in time. They come back around, Dennis is already there, but they're understanding what Fnatic are doing. They know they like to play that aggressive style, but they haven't been able to punish it this round. Now, JW's keeping a couple of those extremities at bay, so you're not getting the pressure through Ivy. Flush is holding down B completely, and then you can allow the rest of Fnatic to push up towards T. It's a very smothering style, even for a CT side, so JW patience is certainly a virtue, but who has more of it? Flamey or JW? As the rest build themselves up towards main. JW's looked away. This could open up opportunities here.
Flamey's been there all round. He was actually pinned as well with, I believe it was C's getting picked off by JW with that first shot. He had to smoke himself out of Ivy. He couldn't take the risk of leaving normally. So here's a smoke towards the side. JW meets it with a grin. It'll be Simple falling, and there he is. A second for him, straight down Ivy. Oh, hello. That's a teammate. Dennis barely surviving that one. But the bomb is dropped, and Guardian running out of options.
It's still Guardian. He's going to fight tooth and nail to keep hold of this AWP, though, isn't he? He can still afford more. Their money's really good for NaVi. Look at the scoreline. That's not too surprising. But second round on the board for Fnatic is the first time they've had the double AWP. So, triple AWP? Did you mean that? Did you mean it?
I think...
Honestly, it's Fnatic. There's a chance.
I'll just spice it up. Okay. All right, fam.
All right, what are you going to do? Dennis is the odd one out. We've seen him actually pick up the AWP a couple of times, but not as like a third AWPer.
Well, we saw this on Dust too, actually.
Oh, okay, this is different, right. So Olaf Meister's going over towards B with it. Maybe it's like to keep a little bit of a surprise. Olaf shows on B, or one of them shows somewhere, and then they try and keep it kind of under wraps, so they've still got 2 on the other side. This is weird.
Well, it's not either.
I don't know, I'm trying to find logic in madness.
It's not only a bizarre approach, it's a big investment in this round.
NaVi's quick hit. This is sick. This is a big switch up of pace. They lose a round, they just switch it up on the fly. Now, this actually plays in Flusher. You know he plays out these situations pretty well, but gets traded 1 for 1. And now NaVi, you're playing retake with 3 AWPs. This is like your nightmare. But again, it's still Fnatic, and they still might make it work. It's somehow seemingly okay so far. Dennis finding Guardian, and now Olaf looking for a next victim. Flamey's pretty pinned on the side. He can't really fight out of it, but Simple is the loose cannon. He can make the impact happen, but no! Of course Dennis gets another. Out of the 3 ops, it's Dennis finding 2 kills.
Problem is, Lauren, loose cannons roll around the decks and cause damage. Unfortunately, this time only to NaVi. Molotov on the bomb, though.
No smokes.
Kits are there, though, so we just need to see if Fnatic can actually get this in time. Seas can do big work here. Gets the spray on the defuse, already does! JW, no chance for the defuse. Crims has to try and go for it here. Scant seconds remaining. He just gets it done. And Fnatic get their 3rd.
Do you know what I love? 3 ops, Mitch. I like him playing retake on B. And I like Dennis getting all of the kills. That's what I'm here for, boys. This is it. This is the new meta. Fnatic again changing up. They've gone back to the double AWP this time, and JW with a big impact into this round.
I mean, yeah, poor timing. NaVi going for an uncharacteristic change of pace into a Fnatic team that have brought up 3 AWPs. So that's just one of those cosmic coincidences that do occur. Fnatic still win the round.
All right, this 3-man hit squad of Flamey, Edward, and Simple. I'm keeping my eyes on what they're up to as well. Guardian's testing the waters over by Con, making sure he's punishing anyone close by. And this is looking like they want to try and isolate any aggression towards that kind of outer site. But so far, there's so many AWPs up. This is going to be tough for them to fight their way out of it. 2 players by that electric box, and Olaf Meister, not even pressured, not smoke, not flash. He can just do what he wants. And he takes another fight, and he takes another body. Flamey falls by the wayside, and you're down to 2.
Olaf Meister on 3 kills thus far. The last 2 of his quarries are within reach. It's actually going to be JW to chime in. Seized down, Simple. Struggling this game, and that trend continues. Dennis will pick him up. It's 4-8 so far. NaVi getting a good start, but the double AWP for Fnatic seems to be problematic for them. And when NaVi are playing contact on towards A, they're not able to get trades. They're not able to double peek into anything. Too many angles to cover, and that's a big part of that is because Fnatic like to play 4 players initially on that A site. There are a lot of challenges and directions you need to take them in.
Okay. NaVi's economy, that massive bank, finally broken now, down to pistols.
What a game this has been. Yeah,
this has been a bit of a weird one, but quite exciting. I'm hoping the last couple fall to Fnatic just purely so we get to see Navi's CT side, Fnatic having a chance on the T. I'm still so tilted from yesterday's games where it's so one-sided. Simple, though. The hand cannon, what is this?
Straight down the line as well.
And JW's missed his shot. That could maybe open up small chances here, but they're falling in numbers. JW now pressured, gets overwhelmed. This is 2v2 and Flamey.
No.
Oh my god, I almost believed. Crims stops it before it starts, but Seized is already out on B with a bomb, so he can actually do something with this.
Interesting. Opting not to go for an immediate plant. Seized probably just wants to see if there's anyone sitting back in B, although a trained mind of hit like his will probably expect both Fnatic players to be at B. If Seas can creep up on Flusher, pick up his gun, go for the plant, he might be playing himself out of this one now by actually going over towards A the long way. But who's going to be looking here? No one. This is a great way to turn a 2v1 into your favor, is by coming from a really weird angle. You can almost always guarantee you take 1 player by sub. Really? With the Tech 9, Seized. Maybe just for information here. Sees nothing. 33 seconds left.
He's got to check his spot, though. Yeah, Crims having the angle, as did Flusher if required. They're fine on that, but that got so close. NaVi bringing so much firepower in that, even though it didn't work out in the end. But still, the money's fine for Fnatic. They can buy what they need. We had a bit of a spreading of the wealth here for NaVi, but they can probably pull together a bit of a buy. It might be lacking some bits, but yeah, maybe a couple of mollies missing. Nothing too much to write home about, but they're fine. They still get the AWP on Guardian. They're still in a good spot for this, and a fast smoke towards outer. They could be doing a quick hit here. This actually might work out well, but let's see what Edward gets up to. He might have free reign now. He's pushing forward. He's using the smoke well. It's a nice line they've kind of carved through the A-bomb site, but the problem being, where are the rest of the players? Crims readjusting position, can't get caught out here because just Edward doesn't hit the shot. Simple as that. It gets a little frustrating at that point, but where are the rest of NaVi going? They haven't committed either, and Fnatic have to start thinking soon.
JW falling early on an Ivy actually may have pulled Fnatic across in that direction if NaVi waited a little bit longer to go for this hit, but Guardian's still lurking and he's managed to find Crims. Probably to back away now, but enough rabble has been roused over at the A site here to give NaVi an opening at B, but no. Olafmeister shuts the door in there, faces Simple and Flamey to fall. It's 3, and Olafmeister carving it up. It's just Guardian left. 2 kills for him as well. A minute in the round, but the bomb is way away from him, and that flash is going to make it hard.
All right, Guardian, show me the money. What do you have here? A 1v3. They know exactly where you are. and you have no idea. This gets tough from the word go, but it is still Guardian, and there's still a chance until then.
What?
Olofmeister, what is this guy on right now? He's just flying around the map, 4 kills.
I do believe Dennis did that in a, I think, against VP up the ladder as well. No scope. That's nutty. 4 kills for Olofmeister and a very strong round. NaVi thought they had inroads at B, and maybe they did. You know, theoretically.
In theory.
Like I said last night, we generally throw our Fnatic notes out the window because they rarely seem to make a difference. I think they're a team that prides himself on that too.
Yep. And this is the problem. Fnatic can pull the game back. Let's be honest about this. NaVi got off to a blistering start, but JW shutting down on Ivy, but Flamey's still there. That's good. That's a response. That's the Flamey you need. The consistent rock for the team who comes up with these sort of plays to even the odds, to give you a shot in this round, as Olofmeister's already proven what he can achieve with this AWP, and you don't want to give him another shot at it. So, problem being where the bomb is. It's still out by E-Box. Now, Fnatic can give it up and kind of go long walkabouts, and they might just do that.
Fnatic should know the bomb's dropped, so they should be aware of that one. They opted not to stand in between NaVi and the box. I mean, sitting up on that bomb train, not a lot of safety there. Fnatic are more than happy just to spread through the map and gain information and try and pounce on NaVi while they're planning or while they're trying to set something up. And NaVi have done nothing. Simple and Flamey playing so slow. Back to back, over towards Ivy. Haven't moved a muscle.
They're hoping that someone tries
Presents
to make
themselves.
a play. Yeah, does
that early round play.
But there's nothing really encouraging it.
Here we go, 40 seconds and they go.
Yep.
It's like clockwork.
And so many angles to cover. This is trained through and through. So much danger throughout the map. Flamey doesn't want to nade out anyway, just in case it gives away their position if there's no immediate threat, but Flusher lurks. Look at him. In the back lines, old bomb train. He spots out the nade, so that's going to give it away. He knows where they are now. Olofmeister could start moving as well. He's up by Pop, so a nice little crossfire. Good first frag, but now 14 seconds. Flamey, can you work it out?
Flamey's no idea where Olofmeister is. This really should be a done and dusted round. And the shot misses. Olofmeister gives it up. Flamey trying to get away. No plant. He just has enough time. He does have enough time. Olofmeister going to push forward now. Flash on Flamey. No push over at E-Box. That's where the shots are coming through. Olofmeister with the AWP. Still takes that damage and even more. Flamey turns it up. He makes it burn and Olofmeister down. That's NaVi bringing back that round to make it 9-6 at the half. I said it earlier on, Lauren. What is this for a game?
Yeah, this is game on, isn't it? It looked like NaVi were going to just walk through this from the start, but no. Fnatic had something to say about it. Claw back to 6 rounds. Second half is going to be big.
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Second half of this extravaganza is right around the corner. Teams vying to pull off the sickest plays in these rounds, and so far NaVi a slim lead of 3 rounds heading into the second half.
These rounds though, big moments from so many players. You saw Guardian going for the crazy wallbang, some Very, very sexy AWPing. Olaf Meister, a little hit and miss at times. We saw that final round coming in the first half, and it was a little bit up in the air, but overall, he's been a very impactful player, and we saw the impact that actually happened once they got the AWPs down. Once they finally got that double AWP out to play, it changed everything for Fnatic. It's something they need. It's something their money depends on. It's something that became a discussion point as well. If you can keep Fnatic away from the AWP going on to JW, this is of yesteryear, right? If you somehow kept their money down low enough that you could never get the AWP going too comfortably, you'd have a shot. Now, it's the same with NaVi as well, I guess, to a point. You used to be able to discuss that one as well. But at the end of the day, look at the ADR sitting on Flamey.
Let's go,
what
boys.
What a beast. What absolute beast.
Telling you, wobbleboard heroes are going straight to the top.
Mitch, let's be honest here. I'm still smashing the league. No one's going to win. It's all mine.
I copied your spreadsheet, though.
Yeah,
I'm working on that.
Shut up. You can't do that. Right, Fnatic on the T side this time. We have Molly Smokes. We have a little bit of a plan in mind for Fnatic, and I want to see how it goes. It might just be a little bit of an ingenious hit. We'll see what they come up with. NaVi, of course, on the CT side on the opposing team, and Flamey's got himself a little bit of smoke there. And there's one of the new pistols.
Oh, hello. It's the Weeb pistol.
It is very weeby, isn't it?
It is. It's gone. It is
I
what
bet
it is.
Rush has it. Observer Rush, shout out to you.
I quite like. I like the covers.
You don't have it yet? But
he'll get a body pillow of that before he gets it.
Husbando pillows are great, Mitch. But what is another great aspect is look at all the utility they've just put down towards B. It's a huge ruse. It's a clever bit of bait. Because if you're NaVi, you're like, wow, they've done all their smokes, they've done everything here. But would you expect Guardian waiting in the corner? He can do nothing. How does he not even get a single kill then? That is devastating, but it doesn't matter. The backup has arrived, and NaVi deal with basically all the threats. Flush is a mile away. They've got the bomb down, and that's all they're going to get.
Well, yeah, fair call. Guardian bugged it up, but NaVi were ready to respond to that one. I think they lost the player fairly early on in towards Ivy, or at least they backed away from that. They had a feeling that Fnatic were going to pressure that one. That's why Guardian was sat in the corner. So NaVi were able to sort of, bend with the wind and flex back in the face of Fnatic in that round. That's super important, especially if they want to set up for one of these robust CT sides, which I think NaVi really show quite impressively. I think that's one of the nicest things to watch. They really lock things down here. And Fnatic are going to have to pull out some pretty sweaty tricks here to break them.
Again, no. Fnatic not holding back in this one. Crim's getting straight out. Very, very quiet purchase in this as well, if you look at it. Limited investment. Yeah, they got the bomb down. I'm glad we don't see that by coming in the second. We saw a couple of teams yesterday doing it, so it's quite nice to see them just going, all right, let's abscond away from that. Let's play it out like we should.
We saw Fnatic do it yesterday.
Yeah. Simple, simple, simple. Just cleaning it up. Nice and easy.
Olaf Meister here, a little bit of back and forth with Guardian, hoping to at least find something now, but the bomb's been discovered by Simple. He knows it's way back in towards spawn, so it's going to be a very simple matter of enveloping Olaf Meister and taking him to task. But Fnatic behaved themselves, like we said, didn't buy too much in that round. Yesterday against VP, they actually did make fairly big investments early on, even while they wanted to go for the double AWP as early as possible.
Yep.
But now it's just full AKs.
Yeah, 11-6. This is the start. If you're a NaVi fan, you're grinning. You're having a good beginning to this game, but Fnatic now have their chance to find the rebuttal. Let's see what they can bring up here. As NaVi do have a lot of utility, so we'll see if they can get that away from them at any point. JW just going for the little bit of a spam, hoping for something, all he does is catch an aid to the face.
Hurts.
Yeah, and we do see the 4-1. Quite early for NaVi, they have 4 players out towards A, and you're going to just see the rotate from Flamey coming over, and it's all in the cool of C's, pretty much how comfortable he feels as well, if he feels pressured. Fnatic do have that kind of default throughout this map, though. They have players just about everywhere, very comfortable, not giving up anything just yet, but it's that slow kind of play over towards the B side for now. Just purely because Dennis is here now with the bomb, so it does indicate they might actually go for this one, but 2 players very early on the site is going to make it difficult.
Yeah, very... I mean, that's the biggest difference. We talked about this earlier on, the presence at B for NaVi early on. Seized and Flamey are playing quite far back. So this is something you do see from Fnatic. If Olaf Meister makes an early rotation, is in position. Nice by Seized to find Crims, but it is traded out. JW is super low, and Seized is able to finish the job. He pushes forward. May not know the bomb is dropped there, but Dennis now has to kind of wrap around. Seized too fast. Nicely done. Head take it off of him. Good grenade on towards Flush is going to take him extremely low, and it's a very easy job for Simple just to swoop in and pick up the kills. Fnatic buy in, 5 AKs, get absolutely nowhere with it. Flamey the only kill they're able to claim.
Yeah, a very lackluster moment from them. Probably quite frustrating too, as their money's again.
They really need that round.
That
might
shoddy.
break them.
Yeah, exactly. They need to get back into this, but Guardian's got himself an AWP. So this is going to get a little bit dicey as well going forward. Got The Tech-9's coming out, UMP for Olofmeister. Hoping maybe a little bit of a play towards Inner, just purely because you can get more done in this sort of purchase. But it's still Fnatic, they can do the wall of smoke as well. There's so many options here.
I think it's just the one. Yeah, the push out of Pop Dog. It's that fast explode here from Fnatic working from multiple sides. Molotov plumes are on the train, but Flame is able to stand tall and take 2 frags. Olofmeister even helping him out with that one, but he makes amends. Flaming out of 4. It's a 3-on-3. Bomb yet to be planted, and Flash sets up on the train.
We've got to see how the dust settles once this bomb goes down. If it does, but Simple steps out too wide, but he doesn't even get punished for it. Olofmeister falls, and we're down to 2. Flusher and Crims, and Flush is just sweating bullets in the smoke. He's not leaving it, he's just going to wait it out, but Simple reads the game well. And now Crims in a 1v3. They know where he is as well. That Molly's going to force him out of position sooner rather than later, and into the eyes of the remaining NaVi side. 3 players stand, 3 players remain standing in that one as well. So good stuff for NaVi to keep 3 alive, not lose too much. Fnatic at least get a plant out of it and a couple of kills. But all in all, NaVi now stretching towards closing out this game at 13 rounds to their favor.
Yeah, it's enough for that AK buy as well. I mean, you know, that cheaper Tech-9 execute was something we've sort of been seeing for a little while now. Fnatic employ it purely just to get the bomb down now. They know it puts AKs back in their hands. And again, if it wasn't already obvious, this is a must-win for Fnatic. That AWP of Guardian might be important, and we'll see how they want to set that one up. You can see NaVi are really hard to break on their CT side. Fnatic don't get anything for free. They've really got to force their way in.
Guardian waiting for someone to walk into his den. I think Olofmeister's down there. Seized. Maybe having a little bit more company than he wants to. There was about 2 players there. Gotta be careful on that one. Doesn't want to give away early entrances. If he went down, then there'd be
It's a
no
4-and-1 this round.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful. And I like this boost coming out from NaVi. It's not too bad. You know, it's not the instant check. You're a little vulnerable on occasion, but you can just stay away from being basically spotted where JW is. But so far, it's Flamey coming out on top of this one and retaining great numbers for NaVi here.
Fnatic now still probing. They can't really be slowed down by JW falling now, especially as they fall within the 1-minute mark of this round. They'd like to exploit at a Pop Dog, I'd say, with 3 players concentrated in this area, but the Molotov is going to slow them up quite a lot. Simple will be vulnerable to a Pop Dog push as well. Cross-map play like that isn't too hard for Fnatic with these AKs. And Olofmeister wondering, is this too good to be true? No one's challenging me here at Ivy. Something is fishy. And a Simple, of course. A mackerel to the face. At least it felt like that for Olofmeister to fall. Now, this is that push out of Pop Dog. It was delayed. The Molly was there, and now Guardian is in its place. Much more stopping power than the Flames, but Flush is at least able to respond. It's not going to be enough. Another gun round for Fnatic. Another round lost.
Guardian makes that stuff look easy, which it really isn't, trust you me, but he's starting to wake up as well. The first couple of rounds, or at least the first half, the first few bits and pieces, we're like, oh, is Guardian going to be there? He's certainly delivering now. He's starting to feel the game out a little bit. And yesterday we had big performances from people like JW, from Olofmeister. This game, it's okay, but it's not the big performance, right? You ask Fnatic for the highest of highs, and we're not seeing them just yet.
And they expect that of themselves as well. It's
Yep.
something you see often.
They'll tell you that for free. So now the buy coming out from is far from perfect either. 2 UMPs, a Galil. Well, maybe they're going to get a free upgrade here. Dennis is going to be gifted the chance, and Olofmeister's off. He knows what the plan is. Good read, and there's the opportunity we were discussing just last round.
There was such a deep push for the solo player on B. I'm not really sure I can totally grapple with that idea. I understand if you want to push up there, if you had a player. But if you're going into Brown Halls proper and actually up on the railing with no other players at B, seems like a little bit of a misjudgment there.
NaVi already saving. It's done.
4-gun save.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there really is no point. Even with Fnatic being under-equipped in terms of their weaponry, by comparison, NaVi are taking no chances. They realise they fluffed that up.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a huge error. As you said, I kind of like it if they had 2 players there. Maybe
one upper, you get a crossfire
playing
or
a little
something.
bit closer back, you know, the old get right spot. Things like, I don't mind it as long as there's someone who can stop the insta push.
But G2 play a lot like that as well. They usually see Apex quite close up there and usually shots on upper or something like that. That works fine.
God, Simple's making it costly. Something Fnatic can't afford right now for their side. But all in all, NaVi keep 3, Fnatic keep 3, but Fnatic win the round. So 14-7 overall at the moment. Fnatic finding an opportunity then and running with it, and you can't blame them. Seized, made a couple of errors, got punished for it quite severely. Gonna have to learn from these errors and maybe try something different. Okay, so we've found the new secondary AWP, eh? Seized, just sitting on that. All right, why not?
Yeah, sorry,
why
Simple.
Not?
You know those dreams. We said we'd move you on to the AWP spot eventually, like a transition. Yeah, we changed our mind.
Nah,
Blame
fast
Andy.
pace from Fnatic as well. Look at this. 3 players straight out.
No.
Oh my god, Edward could have stopped it before it started, but no. He goes down eventually to JW, and Guardian misses a shot. Not what we want to be seeing here. He needs to keep control of this, and he has. Olofmeister falls, and there's 3 remaining.
Full control. That's what Guardian's hoping for now. Keep it on lock. Simple very far forward on that bomb train there as well. No trading ability. Simple wasn't really watching the same spot as Guardian, but he still makes it a 2v2. He feels that Crim should be peeking him in a moment, and that sees way back in the wings. Gets involved in the round. Now it's Flusher. Bomb still needs to be defused here. Flusher gets a spray down on Simple. Seized is very low. 13 points of health.
God,
There's a kid. The grenade doesn't quite get the job done. Now Flusher needs to move, but Seized catches him out. Buys the AWP in that round and puts it to damn good use. Taking it to match point now for NaVi.
How the hell did he hit that shot as well? I wish I could see it from his perspective then, because you could see the amount that Seized was just lobbing at him throughout it. It's like the nade could have killed him. No, the molly then comes in.
He stepped forward of the molly, had to challenge.
Yeah, exactly, but then who expects him to just rush through the molly basically before it came through, or that little gap? You'd kind of maybe expect him to go the other way around, but no. Well aware, keeping eyes trained on it. Sees, well played. Makes the mistake in 1 round, certainly makes up for it in the second, so that's no problem for him. Now he can start out on the B side maybe a little more comfortably, maybe what he likes, but Simple. You gonna push up here? Are you trying to boost someone?
Ooh,
no, he's just playing right on the edge of the smoke. He'll get a glimpse of them just as they walk out if they do. And Guardian's there to support him as well.
The issue is that Simple can't get out of this spot now unless there's a smoke or he goes for a trade with Guardian. Or some kind of double face. He's essentially pinned there for the time being. I think he backed away through the smoke, so that's fine. Yeah. I wasn't sure if he'd hang around for longer. So that's the re-smoke there. NaVi just trying to make this costly in terms of time for Fnatic. They get a lot of damage on the Guardian, but he's not too concerned. He'll try and sit back and play it casually. Guardian is felled by a Deagle there, over on the train. That's Dennis. He's a one-man wrecking ball on this side. He's just walked in here on his own, and he falls alone as well.
Flusher. Trying to do what he can with the Deagle. Not going to have too much luck, but it's the 3-man play down Ivy that's still brewing the entire time from Fnatic, but it's kind of run out of steam here, 50 seconds left, and no real ground gained at this point for them. This is a problem.
Smoke, molly into that part of the map. So Fnatic, that's the problem. When you spend a lot of resources and then you try and be patient, and then it's just stall mechanic after stall mechanic, smoke, Molotov, whatever you like. And now Simple gets to try and make some use of Fnatic's brewing impatience and take the shot through the smoke. You saw Crims. Smoke plumes, doesn't matter.
Olofmeister looking for a possible victim, but Edward being patient and waiting it out. 15 seconds, and Edward takes the time and he takes the frag. Now, JW, it's all on you to try and dig this one out. I just don't see it happening. 5 seconds, no time. Seas knows what's happening.
We're done.
Simple to close it down in the end. But NaVi looking good. Something we haven't been able to say about NaVi in a little bit of time. There's been ups and downs, but beating Fnatic here is a good start for them today. Hopefully for them, they can then string it together into the next map. But this one was a good start for them.
No doubt about it. Solid play for NaVi. Fnatic, a little bit to be desired, and for all that and more, we're going to pass over to the desk, Moses and the boys, to take us through.
Thank you, Uber and Pansy. Yeah, that was a little bit of a crazy matchup we had there. 16-7 win for NaVi. Starts out well on their T side, losing the coach, yet they had a pretty inspired T side, it seemed like.
Yeah, absolutely. They won the pistol, got 8-1 up on the T side. The problem for Fnatic going through that one is they actually got very good towards the end. They strung 5 rounds together once they got the double orbs out. That was the story yesterday, actually. Won the pistol, managed to get the orbs out nice and early, and they had that great success against VP. You could see them struggling with the 5 rifles set up there, couldn't really hold off what NaVi were bringing to the table each and every time. They actually were very tactical side there on the T side. Not too many rushes or defaults coming in, actually getting control of the map, and then actually going for these really kind of interesting fakes as well. I'm sure we'll have a look at
Yeah, we have it ready. So we'll pull up this round. I mean, Chad, this is just NaVi playing Fnatic like a fiddle at this point.
A little switcheroo, a bit of a double pump going on here. You know, they have action going on all over the site right now. They're going to throw a bunch of utility to inside. They're going to throw a bit of utility outside, send some players out pop to go for a duel, and then it ends up with the bomb going inside. So Fnatic are basically chasing their tail here. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. They have no real utility left to stall, only flashes for retakes, and there's some like sensational whiffs that come in here from the Fnatic players.
The next one's the big one.
This one is a big question mark.
You hate to see it.
And this one right here. Look at this. Look at this one by Guardian. Good night.
Yeah, have a no scope.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, that's the thing, though. But I mean, the beginning of this was just like part of the reason that puts Fnatic into some of these really awkward fights is the fact they have no idea what's coming. And I mean, this is kind of it for the round from there. But I mean, pulling them each which way, forcing utility out, faking the outer bomb site, faking the inner bomb site.
Yeah.
And eventually, Fnatic just has no clue what's going on, and every fight they get into is just an individual fight.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair as well, one round I wanted to point out as well, that final round of the first half where Fnatic could have got it to 8-7. It was Olofmeister who misses an absolute sitter in the back as well. I think it was on towards C's at the AWP. He was playing great up until that point, and that was a big influential part. Obviously, they get 8-7. They actually still have a reasonable shot at winning the map there, even though they lost the CT half. But that was another big round, a lot of whiffs in that game overall. But NaVi, for me, winning both pistols, they looked solid on the T side. And
Flamey had a big game.
Flamey looked amazing. And we did say going into this one, if we thought Fnatic didn't have that amazing CT start, we're not really sure what they could bring on the T side.
Right.
It was quite clumsy to watch. Didn't really have too much going on. They were actually relying on the kind of fundamentals.
They showed a few elements, right? The pistol round, they did the fake.
That was quite good.
C sat on the train in the smoke and absolutely took Crim's head off as he got down low. If they were able to get inside control without taking casualties, probably would have drawn all of the NaVi players over to that inside bomb site, but Guardian stayed outside. He had the information, because what happens is when you run a fake like that, if someone dies, that's normally the cue to go, right? Yep. So it's like someone's dead, that means that we've committed far enough that the calls come in, and that's how you react. They reacted, but Guardian didn't need to rotate because they had early information. There was only 2 players. So he just sat, he could hear them running from a mile away. He said, hey guys,
yeah, so the fact he didn't even get any kills is fine because he's already called for the rotation,
Yeah.
so they're all coming over. So you had the worst weapon, in my opinion, for that situation. You got the silent USP, like super close range with 4 targets in front of you. Like everyone's going to start spamming it, right? And it's not a great situation to be in. But he doesn't get any kills, but he still wins the round for his team.
Speaking of worst gun for the situation, I mean, one of the rounds that allowed Fnatic to even have a respectable first half was the switch into the triple op setup, which I know drew a lot of dismay from us watching. But of course, when they have to retake a bomb site 4-on-4 with 3 AWPs, they make it work. That's just craziness.
Well, let's start why that's a bad thing usually to have 3 AWPs. On any map, really, 2 is going to be the limit. You pick up 3, like I'm always tempted to leave it in spawn and try and throw it away at the end of the round, right? The reason is because when the bomb ever goes down, you're in a situation when you have to go challenge and go into clutches. The AWP's probably the worst weapon to be in close range and try and get close to the bomb, right? But of course, yeah, they did make it work, which was obviously nice to see. It always makes things exciting, Jason.
I mean, exciting is one way to put it. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. Coming up next is going to be Mirage, Chad. And I mean, these are the 2 maps that Fnatic played yesterday as well. We saw them have a big win on Train and then just a stinker on Mirage. And now here they've lost Train and now they have to head into Mirage again.
Hopefully they can win the knife, which I just learnt we had, and start on the CT side. That's what they need. They need a good CT start. The T side was a lot more structured by NaVi this time around than what we saw from VP yesterday. VP would, I think, not. It was more heads-up Counter-Strike, like I was saying. You know, there were more duels taken. So Fnatic need to just stabilize on that CT side and get the pistol around and get off to a good start, I think, to get that economy built, because they are dangerous when they get those AWPs going. They're also dangerous when they get the pistols going, but if you were playing your anti-ecos properly, there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if Fnatic is going to be able to bounce back on Mirage. Train was a big loss for them. NaVi take it 16-7. And when we return, we'll see that second map.